Sorry if you just saw a little snippet of the previous stream where I didn't have the titles updated, but now the titles are showing correctly. I just forgot to hit one button. I feel like it's a little bit of one of those kinds of mornings technology-wise. But today we are going to be doing a bit of follow-up from last week's Live Monday Music Motivation, as well as a little bit of follow-up from Saturday's video just a couple days ago about faster fingers. So last week on the Monday Music Motivation, we talked about how skill is not something that's linear. Skill is not something that you can sort of develop this level of skill and then always be able to play at this level of skill. It's something that every time you come to something new, you're going to have to approach it and familiarize yourself and learn it. And maybe after many years of experience, you get to the point where something that's easier can be automatic and that you can sight read it very easily. But that's sort of a different skill in and of itself to practice the sight reading and developing that experience. In Saturday's video, we were talking about faster fingers and this idea that in order to play something fast, it requires myelination of the neural network, which is sort of how our body insulates a neural network to allow us to do it more quickly and more automatically and more seamlessly, and just fires that neural network more efficiently. But that takes time in order for that to happen. So the very brief synopsis of that video is that you need to do it really well and really accurately and allow that to sort of soak in and myelinate and become the efficient process in your playing. If you want to check out the Saturday's video, it's a really good one. I highly recommend it. I put a link to that in the description of this. I also have it in the best of playlist, which a link to that best of playlist is also in the description here. So if you want to sort of see what, in my opinion, are the best videos I've made with some of the most impactful ideas in them, then you can check out that playlist as well. And again, I'm encouraging you to check out that Faster Fingers video because it is in the best of playlist, and I think is one of my best videos that I've made so far, and will be really helpful if you're struggling with why it feels so hard to play fast. Now in this video today, I wanted to sort of bring those ideas of that nonlinear skill progression with how to actually develop faster fingers and give you a little bit of motivation and inspiration today for what will actually help the most when it comes to your learning journey. And this isn't a fancy, fun magic trick, but it really truly is the secret. And it's just the passage of time and trusting that over time, you're going to make the improvements you want to see as long as you are doing things correctly. And this is the super duper important caveat when it comes to this, is that you have to make sure that you're approaching things properly and that you're doing things the way that you want to, if you want to be able to move forward towards that goal. So what does this mean? Let's take the faster fingers example that I was talking about in Saturday's video. Say you want to play this passage of 16th notes at 120 beats per minute on the metronome. You'll get it out the first day and think, oh my goodness, that's so many notes. It's gonna go by so fast. 16th notes at 120 is like uncomfortably fast for me. So I better start working on figuring out how to move my fingers really fast and getting that coordination down. So hopefully you do start practicing it with the metronome. Hopefully you don't start practicing it with the metronome at 120. I think most of us know that, and most of us will have that be intuitive. So we'll start at like 60 and start getting it down and be like, oh, this is still like going hard. I'm not familiar with these notes. This isn't feeling good, but I'm gonna need to be able to play it faster. So I'm gonna bump up the metronome to 80 and see what happens. And we just keep banging our head against the wall, trying to go faster and not being successful with it. That kind of practicing will get you those same results over time. And this is what I mean when I say to trust in time, is that you need time to be on your side and you need to take time to allow these things to sink in and develop your coordination with it and develop your familiarity with it and develop your confidence with it. So the most important thing you could be doing in your practice at any given time is really getting it and doing stuff that feels good. Practice in a way that feels how you want the end goal to feel, and trust that the end goal will come in time. If you want the end goal to be frustrated and panicked and freaking out that it's so fast, then practice at 120 and do those 16th notes right from day one. But if you want the end goal to feel relaxed, confident, in control, feel like you're nailing every note and getting perfectly good finger coordination and just executing the music in a clean and clear way, then you need to do all of that stuff from day one at your much, much, much slower tempo. So if we have those 16th notes at 120 as our example, if you do it at 60 for the quarter note, if you even do it at 60 for the eighth note, but you feel in control and you feel like you're landing that finger coordination, whatever the finger coordination may be, then you're going to be in good shape. And you're going to do it that way every single time that you practice, where you're feeling this is rock solid, this is easy, this is in control, I'm reading each note, I'm staying on top of where I am. Then it's just a matter of time of doing that day in and day out, feeling really solid and really comfortable. And you can start increasing the metronome a little bit, but only ever increase it so much that you feel confident and comfortable, in control, and have good finger motion. Then you can go anywhere with it, given enough time. This also applies to other things as well, not just faster fingers, but better sound quality, better articulation quality, better articulation speed. Any skill that you can think of on the clarinet. Sight reading is another skill that I mentioned earlier. It all comes down to the same thing of, as you're doing it today, do it in a simple enough way that you feel comfortable and confident and in control with it, then give it time and trust the process of time. And I think that sort of sums up all of these ideas is, as you're practicing right now, don't be in a hurry to be better than you are right now. Just be as good as you can be in this moment while maintaining that clarity, confidence, in control feeling, and always practice from that space of feeling like you're making the music, like you know what's going on, and like you could consistently and confidently do this time and time and time and time again. That's the space to be practicing from. And again, if that's half speed, a quarter speed, that's okay. The speed will come with time as you allow that perfect motion and perfect confidence to sink in. So I hope that this gives you a little bit of motivation, a little bit of inspiration, and a maybe different perspective on how you should be looking at your practice and what you should be doing in practice. Now, as always for the Live Monday Music Motivation, let's pull up our practice template and get that filled out for the week. So here's mine for this week. So I'm preparing for a recital that's coming up on February 25th in 13 days, so it's coming up pretty soon. I'm really looking forward to it. I feel like it's in good shape, but I want to make sure that things are going really well and I'm able to get it. So this week I'm going to practice super hard on the recital so that next week I can taper, and maybe on next week's Monday Music Motivation I'll talk about tapering a little bit. But then that's my plan. And for you, fill it out just like this, your reflection of how things are going, where you are in your practice, your goal for what you want to accomplish this week, and then your plan for when you're going to make it happen. And in this spirit of trusting in time and having really good, confident, in control practice, maybe try implementing that. Reflect on like, oh, I've been really stressed out about these fast notes in this piece, or getting undertones on the clarion articulation, whatever is currently sort of stressing you out and you feel like you need to get better skills to be able to do. Maybe make that your reflection of what you're focusing on, and then make your goal for this week something super small, like the tiniest first step to accomplish that. So if it's faster 16th notes, maybe say, I'm going to get those 16th notes rock solid, in control and confident at half speed. And that's your goal for this week. And then make your plan accordingly. Or if it's that articulation, say, maybe I'm not going to worry about the clarion, but I'm going to make sure that my articulation is really in control up to high G. And once I get that up to the G going really well this week, then maybe next week I can push that up to the A. Something like that. Something super small, super achievable. And then the plan is the most important part, where you're going to schedule when you're going to practice, what you're going to practice, so that you have something nice and neat and organized to tackle for this week. Put that into your calendar, put that into your schedule, set reminders, whatever you need to do, as if this was an appointment that you wouldn't want to miss, so that you make sure that you do it. So that's your template. Again, the link in the description is there for that, quickstartclarinet.com/get started, where you can download this or just make it for yourself. It's super simple. But I hope that gives you some good perspective for what to be working on this week and how practice should feel in general. Never feel like you need to push yourself to a higher skill than you're currently at. Just play to your best of your abilities now. Do the things as well as you can in this moment. And as that sinks in and as those good fundamentals sink in, you'll begin to develop and grow, which seems so counterintuitive saying it that way. But I promise that's the way it works. Trust in time. Trust that over time, those good fundamentals will yield fantastic results. Thanks so much for being here today. I hope that you all have a fantastic week of practicing, a fantastic Monday, and I look forward to seeing you next week for the next live Monday Music Motivation. Happy practicing, everybody.